Hi, my name's Tim on New Age FM podcast, and we've got Dave Coleclough. So how's your day going?
Oh yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. I just cleaned the fridge today,
Oh,
so that was
nice.
my main. I did a bit of domestic activity. So,
Yeah, yeah. No, that's really good. And what kind of keyboard is that in the back there?
are you talking about the one that you can see there?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, oh, that's a controller.
Is that just a little MIDI
I think it
MIDI keyboard, is it?
M audio.
Oh, yeah, M audio, yeah. Yeah,
Sometimes, yeah.
mine's a Nectar MIDI keyboard. So
Okay, yes.
mine's so I think I got mine from either the Rock Shop or Music Planet, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
It was one of those two anyways, so that's right. All
yeah.
right,
They're
so
handy.
yeah, yeah, they are really handy. So tell me a little brief history of how you of of your life and how up to now, so and how you got
Uh,
into music.
Music and stuff.
Yeah,
Well, I've always been into music, like playing in bands since I was like in my teenage years, right,
yeah.
right through really. And used to play a lot of covers when I was younger and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And then I sort of got into playing a lot more acoustic type focused material,
Hmm.
and lots of bands. I did quite a bit of teaching when I was, from early on. I used to do a lot of teaching in high schools,
Hmm.
and I was working a day job in a factory, and I couldn't seem to get any wage rises out of the boss. And then I started getting offered these these little openings kept coming up in high schools to go teaching, teach them how to play guitar and stuff.
Hmm.
So that's how I managed to get away from the 8 hour a day um, job, the daytime. I started,
Right.
I started before I knew I was doing private students and teaching in about 5 high schools,
Hmm.
and and then I just started working for myself and playing all the time, and it's always been kept writing it along the way as well.
Yeah.
Um, I've done a lot of like guitar stuff. I joined the country music club about probably 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I hadn't really been involved in country music much, but a friend asked me to go along, and then I got sort of pulled into doing a lot of music with them, with
Hmm.
the band. So I got quite involved in that actually with the Gore Girl Guitar Awards, going there quite a lot,
Yeah.
uh, writing and playing with lots of different people in the country music scene.
Yeah. Oh,
And
nice.
so the country music seemed to have like a bit of like a family sort of atmosphere about it.
Yeah.
But there was like a bit of sort of support there with a lot of support with artists in the country music scene.
Yeah.
And I did the Gore Guitar Awards and started playing a lot, and we won quite a few awards down there. And I
Nice.
started getting into bluegrass
Yeah.
uh, for about 6 years, with also playing other types of music. And I did the double bass um, with Valley Bluegrass,
Yeah.
and we travelled all over New Zealand doing lots of bluegrass music, which I really enjoyed.
Okay.
So I got to play with fiddle players and banjo players, all sorts of things. And we went in the Gold Guitar Awards as well.
Oh,
And more
nice.
recently, I still did. I've been doing a bit of touring with a Australian musician called Jan Preston.
Okay, cool.
She's boogie woogie sort of jazz type. Um, she had a hit band here in New Zealand called Coup d'etat in the 80s, where they had a lot of they did quite well with the music scene. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. This sort of rings a bell. I think I probably have heard them in the through
Yeah, it was a
my
song.
younger years.
Do you ever remember a song called "Doctor, I Like Your Medicine"? You might have.
Rings a
Doctor,
bell.
I like your medicine. Yeah, well, she was playing. She'd done stuff with Hello Sailor,
Yeah,
and musicians out of I think My Sex, Hello Sailor, all those. And she asked me to come on tour with them more recently. So I've been on 2 tours with her, doing double bass. She's in Sydney, but now I'm
yeah,
just getting back more into. I've done a lot with other artists, and I'm just sort of getting back to writing more for myself
yeah,
and
yeah,
with my guitar.
yeah,
So kind of been around the block with all sorts of different styles, with
yeah,
rock, bluegrass, ragtime, you name it. And what's really stuck with me is like that Americana sort of sound from
yeah,
that comes out of the States.
yeah.
I really like artists like Jason Isbell. I don't know if you've heard of him. Just just getting in touch with the guitar again,
Yeah, yeah.
and just writing stuff that comes out of me. And I'm not really writing. I'm not having to do music for a certain genre. I'm just sort of writing my own stuff or whatever that may be that comes out. So I put a song out recently
Oh,
called
nice.
"On Your Way."
Yeah,
It's been picked up with Radio Dunedin here in Dunedin,
yeah,
and also South Africa. There's a radio station over there that's took it on board.
yeah,
So it's getting a bit of radio play, quite a bit.
yeah, yeah,
And it's, I've had hundreds and hundreds of responses with people, feedback. So that was like after being touring with different people, it's like I've got back to the studio and just started writing on my own.
yeah.
And it's nice to just release something that was just me.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. I understand that. I mean, that's the same with me. I just wrote music that I thought was really good, but then later on in the years after that, I tend to critique my own music and all right, well, that one didn't sound great. That sounds better. I mean, I did the same sort of thing, and the same with like started off using auto tune and then sort of gradually went down to using pretty much no auto tune, which was much better. It's better to just have as long as you keep on training your voice, you can hit all the good notes. But I can't hit as many high notes as I used to. My voice has sort of changed.
yeah,
Um,
I've got
whereas
many singers that come here
yeah,
and I help them with the performance in
yeah,
the studio. But I know what it's like. It does take time to develop your voice
yeah,
into
yeah,
what you want to do. I've heard some of your production, and it's quite impressive.
yeah, yeah.
Your
Yeah,
production skills. Yeah.
yeah, well, my father, he was the founding engineer of doing editing or sound recording over here in New Zealand, and so
Yeah.
I just picked up everything from him. Plus, I did the certificate in radio at Aoraki Polytech, and
Yeah.
so that got me more into doing like OBs or outside broadcasting, doing ads, promotions, voiceovers,
Yeah,
you
you've
name
got the
it.
radio voice.
Yeah, yeah. So it's and yeah, first interview, recording an interview with Michael Wingfield from Catharticus.
Okay.
Um, it was yeah, it was a bit nervous, but I can talk to people pretty easily. But
Nice. Yeah.
once you only have a small amount of time on a software that it can record, it's just have to crunch it down. But yeah, but
Hmm.
that's all good though. Um,
I think podcasts are good. I've been listening to a lot of them.
yeah,
It,
yeah,
and it's really good to just be able to talk about things.
Yeah, it's easier than having to have like pay money to have your own radio frequency. So it's easier for
Yeah,
people to just listen to it anywhere in the world, um, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whether they're broadcasting that amount of time
yeah, yeah.
or less. So for me at the moment, I'm just going to do interviews until I can get better gear, and then I'll produce longer episodes and
No, I
even
think it's a
do
good idea. Yeah,
live and all that. So yeah, so that's
yeah,
really
yeah.
good. So what does music mean to you? What does it mean?
Oh, I think it's probably the best form of self-expression
Mhm.
for me. Yeah, it's just a way of communicating across
Yeah.
a wide spectrum of doesn't have any barriers as far as language. I was listening to some Indian music the other day with these. I forget the name of the, the duo, but even though I didn't understand what the language was saying, it still was really rocking it for me. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
there were Indian musicians, pop type Indian musicians,
yeah,
and I just think it's got that way. It just means it just penetrates all through, and it helps people. It helps with things you're going through and feelings, and you can relate. Certain people relate to different things in your music.
mm,
I think it just helps glue everything together. It provides that connections for everybody
yeah,
where we can't say it verbally, we can say it in a song.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's really true. And what are your thoughts on the future of music?
Future of music. Well, I hope it stays real because the technology is getting so advanced now. I still like to. I love to hear still acoustic instruments
Mm,
and the rawness of simplicity. But I do think it's getting a little bit scary in some ways because it's getting quite. So along, I was looking at a podcast with Rick Beato. I don't know if you've heard of Rick Beato,
uh,
and he was
rings a
interviewing.
bell.
He was interviewing the guy from ABBA, and they were talking
Yeah,
about AI and how the AI is now sort of simulating famous people's voices, and they're
yeah,
coming up
yeah,
with songs, and it's sort of like I think some of the artists may lose a bit of their identity. You know,
yeah,
I think if we can keep it real, it's got a good future.
yeah,
Um, as long as we don't get replaced by robots. You know,
yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
yeah,
that's really
real
true.
musicians. Yeah, I think real musicians. There's always a demand for
Yeah,
real music. So uh, I think it's just permeated everything now with media.
mm.
Everybody can access it,
Yeah,
and you can always find something that resonates with you.
yeah,
I think it's got a good. I'm not sort of so big on the over commercial music,
yeah,
and it's heavily produced and
mm.
compressed. I know it sounds good, but it gets a bit generic listening to it.
Yeah,
I do like to just hear people playing drums, bass, guitars, stringed instruments with
mm.
use of like electronic music as well. I do like some of that,
Yeah,
but as long as there's a balance, it's not sort of we still have that raw roots music
yeah,
floating around.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What do you
Uh,
think?
yeah, no, I think the same. I think the actual record labels, they won't have any recording studios anymore. It will all just be recorded at home, sent to someone's computer. They'll just mix master it, and that'll be the way it is. That's the future. Same with when it comes to camera crew, you could even just film your own little video with a selfie, or you can just get one of your friends to come and record you, and
Yeah.
then
I think it's
it's
amazing. Yeah.
yeah. So it's really good. And so what social platforms do you have for your listeners to for the listeners to follow you on?
Well, I'm on Spotify.
Mhm.
I've just released a recent song on Spotify
Okay.
through TuneCore,
Yeah.
which is a distributor. I think they're in New York.
Yeah.
So I think it's got about 12,000 streams, the recent one so far.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
uh,
I think I used TuneCore for my distribution the first time, using it on Spotify,
yeah,
iTunes, and then pretty much every else.
yeah,
And people could even there was a website where people could just burn the music onto a CD and have it sent to them. So that was pretty cool.
yeah.
So
I'm on that. I think TuneCore's put a lot of my music through Apple Music. So I'm
yeah,
on there. Reverb Nation
yep, yeah, yeah,
is the one I use just to,
yep,
and well, there's Facebook is quite, it's big. It
yeah,
does. It's quite big. But yeah, just the usual, all the ones. Apple, Spotify, uh, SoundCloud,
yep,
Bandcamp,
yep.
all those sort of things. I'm not a big Instagram person, but I
Okay.
do post some things on Instagram.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not like I'm not really a TikTok,
No, no, that's all right. What
but I
about
think they post things up there.
yeah.
Yeah,
What about X, formerly known as Twitter? You on there
yeah,
as well?
Twitter. Yeah, I am on Twitter. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Is it called X now?
Yeah, yeah. Elon Musk has called it X, so I guess that's in sort of the same sort of aspects as like
SpaceX.
SpaceX as well. Like
Yeah,
I think it might be corresponding to like maybe
yeah.
Generation X, possibly. I'm
Mm.
guessing so.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm just not much of a chatter on Twitter. I'm more of a Facebooker.
yeah,
Uh, but I do have followers on Twitter.
yeah, yeah.
How about yourself? Do you do Twitter?
I have my music, my DJ Fades on Twitter, but for New Age FM podcast, it's just strictly Facebook,
Yeah.
Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify. So at the moment, until I
Same.
can get other things sorted out.
Yeah,
So
it's the
yeah,
same, really. And I think as long as I'm sharing it with the audience, is because it's a massive market out there, and
yeah, yeah.
I've been getting quite a lot of feedback from South Africa at the moment because
Oh,
I've sort of
nice.
some South African radio platform contacted me,
Yeah.
and and they were quite good. So they've been playing my stuff as well. So,
Oh, nice.
but yeah, radio, but a lot of different. Oh, what's his name? Gordon Payne here at Radio Dunedin.
Yeah.
He's been playing a track of mine on Radio Dunedin for the
Nice.
last month or so. So
Oh,
it's
nice.
quite rewarding when you get that because it's kind of an interesting thing because there's a big record company people that have the big labels and things, and there's all these smaller artists that are independent, but the public are quite good at supporting what they like.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
got the tools now to. I personally like just being independent. and just do
Yeah.
modes.
Yeah. That's the same with me as well.
It's more control, and you can just do what you want. And
Yeah.
but I'm sure that artists that have big labels are they get all the benefits from that too. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much for being on the channel, and we'll catch up next time, and definitely,
Yeah, yeah,
definitely have another catch up and talk more. So that'd be
yeah.
great. Maybe do a
I've got
live
some.
chat.
I've got another. I'm doing some more recording soon
Oh, nice.
with some new material, so I'll let you know about that.
Yeah, no, that'd be great.
Hmm.
All right.
Okay, great.